How's it going, guys? It's Najam. Welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'm going to review the Tin HiFi P1s. I like these. I've been using them for about 2 weeks or something now, and I'm really good with my opinions, trust me on that. So they come with this nice carrying case which seems to be made out of leather. You've got the logo imprinted on here. I'm guessing that's sort of burnt in. It looks really nice. This is the best case I've got, as in with IEMs and everything, and I love it. I mean, it's just amazing. So these cost me £110 from AliExpress. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you go pick them because these are like really good. They do cost like £150 on Amazon, which is still really worth it. Now I remember back when I got the FIO FH5 and they cost me £250. In my opinion, these are like better in terms of the packaging and like what you get with them, like the cable and all that. I just like it more. So you get this really nice case, and it's magnetic. So there you go. It opens up, and then it closes. It's really nice. So the case I like better, and it's not that big. In fact, if I open it, you can see that they fit in there pretty snug. It's really nice. You can't fit anything else in there. Well, you obviously can, but don't recommend it. But yeah, it's a really nice case, and it's got that really satisfying snap when it closes. So that's really nice. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at what's inside. I've got these are the P1s. And there's the inside of the case. Looks really nice. Go ahead and close that, and we'll put that to the side now. We're gonna take a look at the IEMs themselves. So here you got the cable, and you have a connector, which you have a cable and you get a connector, which seems to be like the standard you get with IEM monitors. Right, so the connector is amazing as well. Really nice quality. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't sort of have a texture so you can grip onto it. It's a bit on the slippery side. I can obviously pull it out, but if you got like greasy hands or something, it can be a bit slippery. So that's single-ended. So you got this connector, and that goes into this cable, and a lot of people say it's loose. It is loose, but it hasn't really bothered me at all. The cable is beautiful. I really like the cable. It does look like it's got some kind of texture on it, but you can't feel it. The feeling is really smooth. So they've got like some other layer on whatever it is, like silicone or whatever, like a varnish or something, and that makes it feel all really smooth. So that's there. As you can see, one thing I don't like about it is this. It is a bit loose. It does happen. As you can see, it's just completely open. But it's honestly, it hasn't really bothered me. I don't know why. Don't really care. It's not really. The only thing that does bother me about this cable is that it's too short for me personally. For portable use, it's perfectly fine. I think it's about 1 meter or 1.2 meters. It's just a bit short. But honestly, that's just being a bit nitpicky. Then you got this splitter thingy here, and then it terminates onto these two really nice looking which are also loose, but they never really bothered me as well. Got this thing, then you got some more of this thing, and then you got more of this thing, and then you got the IEMs themselves. This is a bit kind of bent, I guess you can say. Let's talk about the IEM monitor. I'm just gonna give you a quick look at them. Here's a close-up. You got the left, that's like gold or whatever, and then it says L on there, and here's the back of both of them. Looks the same. The right one has a red ring, and then it says R on it here. Seems logical to me. And you've got an R over there as well. Also seems logical. Now let me just talk about the tips briefly here. So these ones are the medium size open ones. So these have well, it comes with a whole bunch of tips. These ones in my opinion work the best for me, because in terms of fitting, they just sit in your ear like, and they're really flush. I mean, you can just go to sleep. These are really flat, right? So they're not going to push into your ear. They've never done that. I mean, it's like they sit just inside your ear. Nothing sort of pops out. But that has somewhat to do with the tips as well. So, sorry for the background noise. So these tips are the ones with the bigger bores over here. So the bigger opening. And they seem to be pushed back. When you put them on, as you can see, they run a bit like this. But when you put them on and you push it in, these just sort of roll back. So I've just left it like that. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be like this. But I'm fine with this. In fact, I like this. It works better. Because the ones that are more hard, the ones with a smaller opening on the front, the tips, they're a lot harder to put on, but they're really on there. And they don't really push around. So they're sort of kind of made for these. But I don't like the sound that comes out of those, because the gap between this driver and, well, the shape of it in the front, it changes the sound. So it tightens up the low end, but it messes up the higher frequency. It's really bad, and I for one don't really like that. These on the other hand don't really affect the sound quality in pretty much any way. Well, as far as the seal goes, these, in terms of like the seal, is not really good, because these just sit in the ear, and they do seal it, like obviously they block out some noise. You won't be able to hear it as much, the surrounding, but as if you move them, you can just simply pick them up and then the seal is broken. So these just sit in there and then they sort of block out the surrounding. So in terms of noise isolation, not really the best, but honestly, again, I haven't really had any problem with them. So yeah, that's one of the things with the tips. But these ones, in my opinion, just sound a lot better. With these, the highs are not as harsh sounding, and the low end just is more better. It's more open in the low end, so it's just more nicer in my opinion. They also come with the foam tips, which I haven't really tried, because I know they thicken up the sound and all, so I don't bother with that. I want, well, okay, if you look at this, the grill is pretty much open, so I like what they do, because I'm a firm believer in the most raw possible outcome, something like that, I guess. You know, try to get as close as you can to the source of the sound, and this doesn't amplify it because it doesn't have any weird stuff. So this is directly going into the ear canal, and that makes it, in my opinion, just sound better a bit. So that's just that's a personal preference. So let me talk about the sound quality. Now, I've been using this with the Core Electronics Hugo 2, and now first off, with anything else I've tested with the Hugo 2, there's some hiss. These don't have any of the hiss, so that's one big thumbs up, because it really bothers me when, you know, I mean, you get something else and it's got a lot of hiss. Even the Belon 03 have a lot of hiss, and it doesn't bother me because theirs is a lot quiet. But the Hugo 2 is not made for IEMs, but I want to use it because it sounds amazing. I haven't reviewed it yet. I've been meaning to, but I will review it next after this. So yeah, the Hugo 2, I want to use it because of what it is, right? I mean, you don't buy it and you just not use it. So this has no hiss. It's absolutely black. So that's really cool. And the same with the Mojo. If you use this with the Mojo, these are the only in-ear monitors that have no hiss, with the Hugo 2 and the Mojo. So there's that. That's pretty nice. The other thing is that it's kind of funny, when I use the Hugo 2 when I'm charging and using it, which I don't really do, but I did. Now with the Belon 03 as well as some of the others, you get some ground issues. So there's a hum sound that goes on, and if you touch the Hugo 2, it goes away. If you don't touch it, like you take your hand off it, and there's some humming. These don't exhibit that for some weird reason. So yeah, there's that. Because inside here, I don't know like how it works and all. It's a 10mm planar-diaphragm. In other words, it's a planar magnetic IEM, and the planar drivers tend to use more power. And I don't want to just say like everybody else that these need a lot of power and whatever. They don't. All right, I'm not gonna say that they do, because they really don't. I think these are just not even made to be used with smartphones or something like that. I mean, you have to be an absolute idiot to pick these up to use with your smartphone, because you have to really think about it. Think really hard. Now you're getting something like this with a really fast driver, blah blah blah, whatever, and you're gonna use it with a smartphone. Now these are the first I've ever come across in-ear monitors that don't hiss, don't have any stupid ridiculous issues with something like the Mojo or the Hugo 2 or the HiFi X DSD or pretty much any other USB DAC out there. And that makes a good point on buying these, because these require more power than some of the others. Well, pretty much every other in-ear monitor. So these are not going to have some hiss and stuff like that. So that's really nice. Now let me just get on to the sound quality, because I know you're here for that. A lot of people say these don't have bass. Well, that's probably because they're using them with their phones. Because these have enough bass. I mean, if you look at the frequency response, it's pretty much flat across the board. It does sort of roll off before 40 kilohertz. But I mean, if you got a good DAC, then you're obviously not going to have any problem with the bass, right? I mean, I have no issues with it. Using the Hugo 2, which tends to bring out everything in the music. You've got, the really low sub bass, and these have that just enough and just the right amount that I like. It's pretty much balanced out, and that's why one of the reasons I actually like these. The mids are exceptional in these. I heard some people say about that Planars tend to have issues with harmonics and stuff. I don't know what they're on about. Maybe the mids do sound different. They sound better on these than dynamic drivers. They're really clear. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And when it comes to binaural audio, the imaging on this, since these have a lot of depth, is just mind-blowing. It's crazy good. I was listening to the Inception soundtrack, and you've got a whole lot of stuff going on, from time to time. And that sounds amazing on this. I mean, you can hear the explosions really good. And the highest frequencies, as far as the HiFi, I mean, these absolutely crush everything out there. The highs on these are absolutely flipping amazing. They're so open, really airy, really 3D sounding, probably because of the Hugo 2. I mean, these are the best highs I've heard. The amount of detail that comes out of these, because it's a planar, is really fast. It's so much detail that it makes the harsh things sound smooth, yet just as harsh as they're meant to be, because they're just so much detail. If that makes any sense. The sound stage is narrower than some of the others I've heard, but I'm a firm believer. I mean, that's just a whole lot of mind games, is that. And these do have a lot more depth than width. And if you just put on some headphones or whatever, and when it comes to the width in terms of sound stage, honestly, I mean, your head just get used to it. I mean, if you heard something that has a really wide sound stage and you jump on something like this and you say this is a very small sound stage, after like an hour or so, you get used to the sound stage of this. And then when you go back to the headphones or whatever you're listening, which has a really wide sound stage, to me, it sounds unnatural. It just starts to sound really unnatural. But once your head gets used to that, then this is gonna start sounding really narrow. So honestly, soundstage in terms of width doesn't really matter, in my opinion. What does matter is depth, and these have a lot of that, and I love it because of that. So these are just amazing in terms of depth. They do sound really linear. When there's a lot of stuff going on in the music, you can actually hear everything with these without any description. I mean, yeah, you can say that you can hear that on a dynamic driver or whatever, but on these it's a bit different. You actually use these, and if you can power them properly with the Mojo and the Hugo 2, you have no problem. And you need something you need a DAC or whatever to take advantage of the speed of these, and the Hugo 2 has no issue with that either. These are really good. I mean, if you're planning on getting these, get them. Unless you're using with the phone, then you're just stupid. I mean, if you get one of the newer music players that are coming out, even I think a music player that's 1 or 2 years old, they have enough power to drive these. Take my word on that. That's something. So that's pretty nice. Smaller music players that are mid-range, I mean, you're actually going to need a high-end music player. If you get a smaller one, a mid-range one, then they're not going to have enough power. Yeah, I mean, I've never really underpowered these. I never used them with the phone because I didn't really intend to. It's not really made for that. I use them with my Hugo too. Honestly, everything sounds amazing. Nothing bad. There's enough bass in there. Okay, there's sub bass. You can definitely hear the sub bass, the kick. You can feel it. But there's not as much of the thump, if that makes any sense. And now it's still there. I think it's just the right amount because you can still like hear it. I mean, again, I mean, I personally have no problem because these are made for certain people, and certain people like me who have OCD and really actually care about how things sound and the way they sound. These do it just right. So they have the right amount of bass in my opinion. In terms of the comfort, there's one thing I want to mention, and that is this. I'm pretty sure some of you know about this. So this is in your ear, kind of like this, and then this, when this is meant to go around your ear like this sort of gets in the way. So it's meant to go like this in real life, but it goes like this, and so it's kind of not properly going around your ear. Instead of like this, it goes like this, and then this gets in the way, and so yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But it hasn't really bothered me because as soon as you put them in your ear properly, they're there, and then they kind of just disappear. I mean, immediately these just disappear. They are so comfortable. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you go pick them up. These are amazing. I mean, just from the quality of the cable. Cable's nice. No noise whatsoever. No issues. Single-ended. That's nice. And you get a bleeding case. That's nice as well. They're not made to be used with phones, but if you want to use it, you're gonna need to get some kind of an amplifier that has enough power. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll answer them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.